Welcome to BASES 2023, and we have Sandra Daroy returning this year with a very special presentation, 2025, End of All Human Free Will, End Times, Walking Cases, the book. Sandra Daroy is also known as Miss Sepsis. And Sandra, take it away.
Thank you, Miles. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad that I have this opportunity to talk to you people, you real human souls out there. First of all, I want to wish every single human soul, the real 25% who need to unite, I want to wish you only blessings. May you be blessed with unbelievable abundance and happiness and joy. And may you receive miracles during these critical times and where you're suffering or your health, and may a miracle come enter and save you and your family and loved ones. I wish every single one of you only blessings. May you be blessed. May you receive love. May you receive a beautiful partner who's going to be the roots, like the tree roots beneath your tree of life, and support you. And may you be surrounded with only happiness, health, and joy. This is very important. May you be blessed. 25% real human beings. And, well, for you sleepers, I just wish that please expand your universal credit, fluoride, skittle brain, and drill through that calcium, cow's milk layer in your brain, and go access that pituitary gland and expand it, okay? Try to expand and understand what is coming, because what is coming is quite serious. Quite serious. And for the rest of you, I'm sorry I said universal credit, but for you upper mid class dipped in wine and cheese, thinking that, oh, what a lovely existence I have going on, well, think again, because your very comfortable existence is about to change very, very uncomfortable in the next 72 months. So please try to expand. And I'm burning some sage here because I've noticed that it does clear the energies, even though I put in the 10,000 hours of mantra and I don't need any more clearing. I do need grounding. So this gamma alpha wave during the daytime, its alpha waves were chronic fatigue, very sleepy, unable to even function or be focused, and then the nighttime is gamma waves and you can't bloody fall asleep. So grounding is definitely needed, and this helps. And before I start, I have my Wands of Horus. I want to give out a shout out to Valerio Wadov, who back in 2016-17, the infamous interview with me, Miles, and Valerio Wadov, we talked about what is coming, and I had a series with Valerio Wadov that I intuitively named The End of Times, because I felt something was approaching. Don't you feel like something is approaching? The storm 2020-2021 has passed, but now there's a new storm coming, ladies and gentlemen. And shout out to Valerio Wadov, who brought up very briefly, unfortunately, the fact of 2025, which is the name of this lecture today. Free will stripped away 2025, end of humanity. And I was coming through the airport. Another life hack for nowadays. Anything that happens to you, I was stopped at the airport and they wanted to confiscate these, and they said, "What are these?" And then I thought, they're Zelensky's. So anything that happens to you nowadays, all you need to do is say it belongs to Zelensky or Ukraine. If your assets in the bank are going to be frozen, which mine were a month ago, and then I got them back, I went to the bank and I said, it's Zelensky's, it's Ukraine's. And at the airport I said as well, she looked at me, she didn't even know who Zelensky was. So that's what the world we're living in. But anyways, right, let me look at these notes. We're gonna have now a recap, 10-15 minute recap. And we're gonna put a timestamp for the PowerPoint. But that is the situation here, Miles. I need to really emphasize that what I'm going to show during the PowerPoint is going to be further proof that we are living in a magic-based meat grinder planet. Magic-based meat grinder, okay? Pay really closely attention, okay? Because the PowerPoint is going to lean into specifics. The recap now, let me have a quick look here. So a little bit about me. I'm Sandra Daroy. I'm author, filmmaker. I produced The Awakening of 12 Strands 2016, a 2-hour feature film about archonic soul targeting, which a lot of us are, and I made a whole entire movie about it. And I'm an author, and I published the book WALKINCASE, which this lecture is going to have most of the info from. The book is sold Amazon worldwide. So I'm a pagan. I call myself as well Miss Sepsis. So educate yourself what it is to be Miss or Mrs. Sepsis. And I'm Miss Sepsis on TikTok. I'm very active because they took 2 of my YouTube channels down, meaning that I was maybe making a little sense. And I do have a sense of humor, so even if you want some, Zelensky topics and jokes, life hacks, then please do follow me. Because, even though we are facing extinction, and I'm sorry to the love and light people. Oh, you can sit on it, by the way. Shout out to the haters. You can sit on it. Fly on it and do a full split. Full split. All right. Okay. So I talk about the following stuff. Sorry, I have to look at these notes because the PowerPoint, I'm not going to be looking at them. I talk about the Freemasonry, Kabbalah, occult, this magic-based world, and I have endless of evidences over and over again. I don't know how to get through to the 25% sleepers. And I talk about soulless humans. There's 30% in this globe now that have no souls. They don't have a soul. And I talk about symbolism, and I talk about Sanskrits and numerology. And I've been talking about this for years. It's very funny how I've inspired quite a few people to now replicate this information, which is hilarious. And I really want to give out a shout out to them as well. Good luck, So numerology, and today I'm going to be showing you again the meaning of numbers that hold entire stories and meanings. It's time to get out of this interpreting and translating spell English words. I'm so tired of that mumbo jumbo, honestly. Just trying to interpret like understand, overstand. Let's leave that mumbo jumbo. We already know the language is spell work, but we need to look at the real symbolism, and that is numbers. And I've been studying numerology since I was 12 years old. So I know exactly what each number means and what meanings it holds. And we are living in times now. I don't want to jump the queue. There's birthdays coming up, 2025. Unbelievable birthdays. So many birthdays. But there's going to be key birthdays now that we're going to highlight. And it's going to be... It's going to be very depressing. And if this doesn't wake you up, then I really don't know, people. I really don't know. Okay, I honestly, after this, Miles, I'm telling you, I'm giving up. I'm giving up on this shit. This is probably going to be the last lecture I'm going to do. I'm going to just do the background work that I do. You can check my Odyssey channel where I show the rituals that I do, etc. during key dates. Miss Sepsis aka the most shadow banned pagan on the planet. So obviously I'm putting in some work and hours. And what is going on? Why is all of this happening in this world now, Miles? What do you think? I mean, just in a few words, and I really want to make a point, then ad-lib to you.
Well, the cabal's doing its job, getting us all ruffled, taking everything over, and it's down to whether we're going to wake up and find out whether that's going to happen or not. It's over to us. We are making this happen.
Amen to that. And very good. So it's down to us. Karma. It's very good. We're in sync, Miles. So what is karma? Everything that is happening is karmic on planet Earth. We need to clean up our acts. Karma. So what is the karma of a female? A female should be a nourishing motherly entity. In the BASES conference project the summer conference, I was speaking about how females should be authentic with another female. She should have self-respect. She should respect her mother and make a decision whether she wants to deal with the mother, whether the mother was narcissistic abuse or not. And be as authentic with other females as possible, because the energy of jealousy is not so good. Okay, it's not going to do you any favors, because this is the last round. So that's what I'm saying, that this next incarnation in the soul harvesting planet, we don't know where we are going to end up. Because we are going to be torn apart by soulless humans, maybe in hostile style slaughterhouses, because it's a meat grinder planet. And you need to be very careful. So if you've been a female, you need to be female. Even if you're not a mother, you need to be a motherly figure. And if you are a mother, be the mother of all of the children, not only your own children, all of the children. Now, what's the karma of a male human being on this planet Earth? He needs to be a protector and guider, maybe, if he can guide. And he should, he should learn that to be confident enough to lead and guide his family and protect and be a fatherly, protective figure. And he should have respect to all females, because if a man disrespects a woman and intentionally hurts her with his words, this is karma that can create ripples and wounds in a female that are and beyond pair. And a really interesting man talks about this. His name is Robert C. Clark. I give references where references are due, by the way. I'm not one of these Billy Carson type of gobshites, hasn't pressed anything extensive at all. So we need to give credits as well. And this Robert C. Clark says that a real masculine man is very respectful with women and chooses his words very respectfully. And this man should not only be the father to his own children, he should be the father to all of the children in the world. It's time to get out of self-service. And that's the point. The man should not only have respect for human women's, but all of the females. All of the females. I'm talking about other species that are in desperately in need of our help. They're crying for and begging for their lives while things are happening behind closed doors, people. These females that are animal and whatever, fish, mammal, sea mammal, and bird form, these females have children. So you need to protect these females as a human. And you need to respect their children that are being ripped apart by psychopaths. And if you've been living 50% of your life, adult life, ignoring these rules, good luck past 2025 if you depart, from any cause. I mean, when you die, depart. Because this is crunch time now. You need to really understand the precautions. There's nothing wrong with, but if it is vicious and deliberate, and if you are ignoring, so let's say these manifesto gobshites that are promoting that everything is heaven. I heard the most ridiculous thing from Billy Carson. We are living already in heaven. I understand that you're trying to raise the frequency, but there is nothing there. Gucci shades, everything. No, 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 no. And we are not living in heaven. Evil has won. Like Harold Kautzvella said, beautiful. No, we got it all wrong. Evil has won. See, I'm trying to give credits where credits are due, and I agree with him. Evil has won. Okay, there is no heaven. And if you are one of those marketing car salesman people currently during these end times, promoting law of attraction businesses, how to draw in your twin flame, and just focusing on you and your little thing, and not being that father to all the females and children, and the woman who doesn't care about the other female children's and just me, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. I don't know. I mean, the last time, very funny. I know this by heart now. Very good. So the point is that this decision on a soul level, karma decision between good and right, had to be done already 2003. In 2003, like I said in Bases 1 conference, is that 2001 9/11 brought the frequencies down to an all-time low, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4. That was World War IV, because World War I, World War II, HIV/AIDS was Dr. Fauci's World War III. World War IV was 9/11, because we are in World War VI now. Okay, World War VI is going on, the birth, and it started on a bull cycle 2020 2025. Gonna go all the way in 2025. There's another bull cycle coming, which is the end of free will. And 2003 was the last time where you had to make a choice on a soul level between good and right. Am I gonna waste my energy on unnecessary things, or am I gonna actually utilize it for this that's up and coming? That's why, don't worry about your twin flame and all this garbage, because once you start working for Mother Earth, healing and fighting for her, you are immediately going to wipe out your own personal karma. And if you add on to it thousands upon thousands of mantras, or hundreds of mantras even, you're going to see a change in your reality. Karma busting is everything. And I talk about this in Walking Case. I have my life changed with karma busting mantra Tirunila Kantam. And I use copper metallic influences to amplify this mantra. And that is the point, people, that everything will resolve once you get out of this own little bubble and you start being service to this real problem that we have going on. Then everything is going to come. The financial worries will resolve. You will get your partner, and everything will be acceptable. And you need to take it on the chin. If your life is in shambles, like some say mine is, well, it's not a motherfucking shambles. It's alright. I'm maintaining myself. Then I accept my karma and I deal with it, and I try to say the way you kind of elevate yourself is obviously gratitude. Thank you. Give me some more. Thanks, I appreciate that. I'd like something different. Give me some more. But you don't focus on that all the time. That's not the point here. We're facing extinction. There is a bloodbath coming. I'm sorry to say. There is a bloodbath. We're done. Miles, we're done. Miles, the real human souls can't even sleep anymore at night because they're understanding what's coming. And you have to understand this before take a quantum leap in this karma busting. If you really have done a lot of not so good stuff, you have to now get to work, put in the hours, combine it with helping Mother Earth, get to work, contribute any way you can. I'm not saying let's, fight, even though I'm fighting. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Some are like, why are you fighting, Sandra, all the time? It's so negative. This love and light mumbo jumbo, I'm going to tell you, beautiful. These are miracle tools. I'm so sync now. Me and Miles were listening to Stuart Swirlow, 1999 information. Listen, some people, I feel so sorry for them. I would jump off a cliff if I knew back 1999 what is coming. Wow. So the point is, he's saying love and light. What does the light do when you imagine love and light? Listen, you are equivalently evil as debating with some fanatical Islamic Pakistani who wants to convert you. So the point is, this is politically correct. Thank you, YouTube. The love and light person is imagining a light and they're converting it and putting it on children. Don't do that. This is like the Orion SG1, the with the white eyes, go towards the light. You are killing all the energetic system in the body. I don't like to use the word chakras because I think that there's only one chakra, which is the O. We are the O and 5. We are the number 5 human beings. So there is only one lymphic and chakra system. But anyways, he said that if you're imagining light, you absolutely dismantle and you bring in all these entities and you open up these portals. So when you're imagining light, it's a white color, completely wrong. What you should be imagining, Stuart Swirlow said, is from feet to knees, red, in a anti or clockwise spiral, and brown, and then the yellow, green, blue, and I want to speak in Estonian. What is the light neon purple? Anyways, that's the upper spiritual world. But what he said, you need to put on a brown coat to ground yourself. And this is beautiful. Brown grounding, Mother Earth, Capricorn, wisdom color. And when you put that, you are really healing yourself. Can you imagine these love and light people are actually putting their tips on children? This is bombardment and mind rape. And you're completely bringing in something that we are not aware of that is extremely dangerous. Heal yourself. Don't go to any healers. You can get it done. I've done it myself. You can do it. I promise you. If someone hopeless as me can do it, you can do it. And you can do a quantum leap to get there faster. So this is very important what Stuart Swirlow said as well. He said a very nice exercise when you have bipolar and schizophrenic or borderline personality disorders, any form of clinical personality disorders, and you feel ungrounded, you imagine a T. You imagine a T, and it will look like a cross if you're unbalanced, but then you put it up and you make a T sign because it's connecting the left and right hemisphere. It's connecting the left and right hemisphere, and you will feel completely different. Like you've had holy water, like you will feel grounded. You do that in the mornings and late night. Thank you, Stuart Swirlow, for that, because that I've been doing it now for 2 days, and I feel like this is, these colors are everything, and geometry, of course. Now, the intro is almost finished. We're going to go into the PowerPoint. Final notes. So the karma, we're dealing with karma. We're living in a draconian kill for kill planet where everything, we have entered a contract. We have entered a contract. So these Dracula beings that are 800 years old, like wisdom keepers in China, or 1,000 plus, I'm not going to lean into these things too deep because this is all in Bases 1 and in Walking Case book. So there's no point to waste time on this. Let's focus on the 2025 issue. And we are in a draconian kill for kill contract, okay? Like I say, it's a meat grinder planet, and everything is a lie. So when you check my TikTok, I present these short, little, concise videos. Everything is a lie. Absolutely everything. Well, actually not. Sorry, I take that back. Very crucial. Not everything is a lie. They have to give us half of the truth to use our free will to make up our own mind. And let's say educational justice system, nutritional factors, public health, etc. These factors are really lie because it's capitalism, it's corporations ruling us. So let's say that how protein is produced. Protein doesn't exist. The building block of protein is C vitamin, and the pituitary gland produces cholesterol and the thing protein retrieved from the muscles. So when you eat high concentrated amino acid foods rich in C vitamin, it's stored in the muscle. The pituitary gland, that is everything. This is where we need to preserve it and keep it calcium free. You know, food is weapon. And I am a qualified bioresonance practitioner. Look into bioresonance, what it means to measure hands and feet Chinese acupuncture. I have the machine, I'm certified. And it's stored into the muscle. This material, pituitary gland, gets involved and it turns it into protein. Protein is produced in the body. There is no thing such as cold protein. This is an industrial term being fed to us. Everything is a lie. I don't know. Even the way women are just sacrificed in hospitals during birthing system, you should be squatting in water and it just takes a couple of pushes and then you're able to give, you know, not kill yourself and break your spine bone. You know, everything that they're teaching us is to be part of this draconian kill for kill. We should be the mothers and fathers to all the species, all the females, you know, and respect everything around us. That's what paganism is. Paganism was everywhere. It really excelled from, Hinduism, India, but it especially was from Mesopotamia, of course, Mesopotamia, and that is Iraq and current Saudi Arabia, and then it came across to Europe. And pagans started to notice that there is an enemy living on this planet, an intruder. And they started to notice, because paganism, we believe that everything has a consciousness, everything has a spirit. So the aim is Mother Earth, and we live in harmony with nature. That is the aim of paganism. Paganism is so complex that the biggest pagan that I talk about during the Abri ritual is, the biggest pagan was Jesus. He was the pagan because when he was giving fish, which is true, he was giving fish to the people, he knew as a pagan that there is certain type of animals and foods that you are actually able to eat karma free. So if you're eating a reptile fish that does never sleep and its purpose is to literally exist for a short period of time, because it doesn't sleep, it doesn't dream, and therefore it doesn't produce karma when you eat it. That is what paganism is. It's not a cult, vegan, which is a purchased, funded, again, divide and conquer, exactly like the neo-Satanists added on to the rest of the religions. So the point is that in paganism, we use logic and we move like water, start moving like water, and start seeing the bigger picture. Get out of this ridiculous, illogical debates that avocado farmers are killing animals and human beings. I've had debates like this with vegans. You're thinking, okay, this is a wrong fucking mushroom that I've had now. This is a weird LSD trip. This is what I mean. And these are, of course, heavy sleepers or even soulless. Because even a lot of times in protests that I said in conference, BASES Conference 1, a lot of times in these massive protests, you can see a lot of soulless humans. They're not interested there to fight for you. They're there for energetics, okay? They're there to observe the energy and contribute to chaos. Everything needs to be organized with logic. When you go to protest, you form a geometric formulation, there is an exact number of females, exact number of males. And that is when the parliament, if they see this geometry standing in front of their building, like I said during the conference, then they will be like, okay, these buggers are on to something. And if you go on a protest at a specific date, which will add up to 5 or 9, or the Holy 14, which is the essence of walking case, then you will know, they will know that we are educated and we're not going to be fooled around anymore with. And I'm calling you now, before I start the PowerPoint, I'm calling, honestly, every one of you, rise up, let's unite. And we need to be the fathers and mothers and respect each and every female of all species on this planet Earth, and stop the slaughter, stop the meat grinder. We need a, you know, I just said protein is not real. Come on now. I'm living proof, you know. Still got my teeth. There you go. 2025, end of all human free will coming up, okay? End of times are coming. 2019, I had a feeling like there's something approaching. I'm precognitive. And I told my friends and colleagues, I said, don't you feel it? Something is coming. And they said, yeah, I feel something is coming. And that's exactly the same feeling I have now as well. All of this information is going to be from WALKINCASE, and as well, Awakening of 12 Strands, my book. Now, welcome to the black cube world that we're living in, the 999. And this is coming up 2025, the black cube. This is a black cube that is in Estonia. It's in memory of a British man that crashed. He was a motorcyclist, and there was a big motorcycle competition, European, and he was sacrificed. I think his date adds up to 5. This is Mecca, black cube. All the corners add up to 90 degrees, which is super essential. And I have very specific graphs that I'm going to lean into. Now, the Grammys, see, this is what is happening. The neo-Satanists were created to distract the person and use as the scapegoat. They're using them as a scapegoat. Put the slide back on, please, Miles. So this current problem that we have globally has nothing to do with neo-Satanists. Nothing to do with neo-Satanists, okay? They're mocking Satan. They're putting a corset on him, high heels, putting him on stage, and they're like, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That is what you need to focus on. That is not the bad guy. Okay, let's look at the stage show, please, Miles. Elon Musk says that we have a lot to worry about. Don't worry about Elon Musk. He is his aim was not SpaceX. It was the supercomputer, okay, and Neuralink. It was never to go to Mars. His main focus is the AI supercomputer that's going to take over. And I forgot to say in the intro that use the internet nowadays. The internet was released to the general public for the purposes of to distribute information, so us during crunch times we can make the final decision if we're going to take that free flowing information on board or not. But what they started to add on to this internet is a virus, an AI virus that steals your consciousness, and it goes through the iris and it interacts with your consciousness. That's why people get horrible withdrawal symptoms when they leave their little spy phone alone for 5 minutes. So the internet had 2 purposes. We're going to give you the free will. They obey free will laws up till 2025. The Kabbalah is all about the free will. They want to give you exactly what they're doing in the information and then give you the choice. Okay, we already know that. This is nothing new. And people are abusing the internet, doing selfies and just wasting their time on finding a twin flame. But the information should be used, actually. Let's put the slide back on, Miles. So the stage show shows that Satan here is on stilettos. They're mocking him, and Satan is the good guy, okay? Satan is the good guy, and one moment. So let's keep this line now. Satan is the good guy because he's a consciousness that entered when the serpents arrived, okay? Several serpents. These were the walk-ins, soul cocktails that Enki witnessed. And I have a article and a reference in WALKINCASE of Enki's text. Can you put the slide back on, please? So Satan started hunting these walk-ins and any negative souls, and he started sending them straight to hell. And there is another character. Satan is about 5 ice ages old, because there's been 8 ice ages, okay? 8 ice ages. I don't want to jump the queue. Let me check these slides. And Satan was... He's very old, 5 ice ages, and the other character that's very similar to Satan is a guy called Karpusami. Karpusami is from Hinduism. He's a very black Nubian man. He sits on a white horse with a sword in his hands. And he's the one who makes the blind see. He makes the disabled walk. He brings the riches. He brings the wealth, and he performs miracles. And I work with Karpusami. I have seen miracles against all odds. This is what we're living in. We're living in a physical world that's correlating with something so mystical that we're able to formulate this this moving, this mathematical gel clown-like hologram, but it is still all collective karma. We come back to karma. You can produce your movie, but you shouldn't be living in a disillusion that there's no collective karma, okay? So we need to unite. And Karpusami is a similar character to Satan. And they worship Karpusami in India. And I was saying the mantra in Basis Project 1, it's Karpusami mantra. I'm not going to do it now. All info in WALKINCASE about Satan. Look at this now. Let's put the slide. This is page 124. I have at least, I have 1 chapter dedicated to Satan, explaining an Estonian folk story how Satan as well helped the, well, Estonian folk story did put a bad stamp on him. Estonian was paganism, and the Christianity church completely slaughtered every single pagan because they were seeing that there's an intruder in the house. So all the pagans had to be eliminated, and Christianity had to be introduced. And I explain exactly how the neo-Satanist everything has been infiltrated for the benefit of archonic benefit. Bohemian Grove rituals never hail Satan. You will never hear Satan being really hailed. And the neo-Satanists, Satan of church, are actually very good people. They do fight for a lot of positive things, like they're revolutionists. They have a lot of passion and sexuality. Archonic situation doesn't have any of that. It doesn't have a gender. They want to chop your willy off. That's archonic. No gender, no passion, no sexuality, no art, nothing. That's why they're mocking at the Grammy Satan on the stage. In Bohemian Grove, you will never hear them hail Satan. They're quantum sounds that are alpha-like. They're very low in vibration. They open up portals. They use 5 elements. And that's how they bring in the soul cocktails they injected into a human host. And they're all human beings. These are Draculas. And it has nothing to do with reptilians, okay? Nothing to do with, let's leave the reptilians alone. Reptilians left here about 500,000 years ago, before the flood that flooded Bosnian pyramids. And that was exactly the same time that Hyperborea existed, and Aztec area. So Aztec, Hyperborea, and Bosnian pyramids. I've been to Bosnian pyramids. I've been to Egypt. I've seen ancient sites, okay? And I'm talking about real ancient sites. I'm not talking about Roman sites that are recent. These are not ancient sites, Roman sites. These are, we're talking about, you know, pre-flood and real stuff, okay, people? I've been there. And reptilians left because they were a very empathic, very, very proud, beautiful race. Something, maybe something like the Avatar where they had the cat eyes. There was the island race in Avatar and the forest race, the families, and they all serve their own purpose. Something like that. And then they started to fight with a local human that got so aggressive. It became so aggressive, the human being, because the walk-ins were using mind control on villages and manipulating human beings. And the reptilians got sick and tired of the cat fight and the fighting and the bloodshed. They said, we need to get out of here. And they just left. They said, we're going to leave you alone. We're going to let you learn your lesson. We want peace. We're going to come back. But what happened? They put the ban on every single reptilian. Reptilians are not, there is no reptilians. There are only a handful of humanoid mixed reptilians working for both sides of the government. Well, the positive, they wouldn't get involved with the negative side because they're only positive. And they're not reptilians like the way it's been. This is why these videos never get taken down, because it's good for business. David Icke type of mumbo jumbo. Reptilians are good. They're positive, and there is no negative ones, honestly. All these other entities coming from other dimensions, these are already, we're talking about AI then, and they have this energy. So a healer and a witch shaman will, depending on their knowledge, they will decode it as either a reptilian or something demonic. But they're normally demonic, these, what they keep talking about. And these are, they don't have a physical body. And they're not the same shadow beings that take over the soulless human beings. That can be a husband, wife, a shopkeeper, or whatever. The soulless human beings are in the book. I'm not going to get into it. It's nothing to do with reptilians, honestly. The ban is there. There's only a handful of hybrids working for the positive side. I'm going to be talking about Putin's connection to extraterrestrials and the Gilgamesh-like 1 mile UFO over Kremlin 2009, all over media. Let's take it step by step. Too much slides. Okay. Now, what's happening? Third and Fourth Reich. Third and Fourth Reich. What's the symbol there, Miles? This is the 22 summit in Asia. Heaving with soulless humans. Oh my goodness, heaving. So what symbol is that, Miles?
Some people would call it a swastika.
Yes. So, let's get into this now. This is where it all starts. Sorry, I have to give you the previous information. Basis Conference 1, I had virtually no water, which reminds me I should have some water. And I wasn't vocalizing this information that I'm recapping clearly enough. I'm glad I did. So, swastika. So, this is it. These are the people who are ruling us. Swastika. It's not the reptilians. It's not Satan. And it is the swastika archonic system. And 2025, 9th of October, 999, big birthday coming up. 2025, 2 plus 2 plus 5, 9. 9th of October, 999. The bottom of the pyramid. The Mecca cube, the holy cube coming up. All our free will is going to be taken away. Okay, I need to be careful here how I vocalize this. I want to get lyrical, but I'm not, to preserve. So we got beautiful Klaus Schwab there. And swastika all over the bloody place. And this is not new. Every one of you who's up to date has seen this, okay? But let's look into this now. Let's look into this. So, we are living in a bull cycle market. We're living in a bull market cycle. Bull market cycle. It started 2020. Remember, WHO March declared. And 2025. It's going to be all the way till 2025. After 2025, the real bull cycle is starting. So now this is very critical. And 2021 555. I remember that Yemen got completely dismantled, you know, and Middle East has been dismantled. I'm going to show you the graphs in a minute. Why? So 2021, the 555, 2022, the 666, 6th of June, hundreds of Freemasons in Vatican. I accidentally on 6th of June, sorry, 4th of June, I called one of my friends and I said, "Where are you?" And he's like, "I'm in Vatican. I'm in Vatican. There's hundreds of us here." And I know that he's a high scale, but all of them are clueless. All of this information that I have, the 33 up to 36 degrees Freemasons, it's my personal understanding, research. No one has told me, because the ones part of the 33, 34, 35, 36 degrees are clueless. They're not, you know, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what they're representing. They think it's good, positive, but it's not. So 222, it was the 666 birthday at the Vatican. And I knew that it was going to be 2 days before, so it was over a weekend. 2023 is going to be the 777. 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. So this July 777, it's becoming spiritual. So 555 2021 was the change. 5 means change. Drill this into your head. This lecture is about everything leads 5 to 9, and that is what's happening. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying that, remember that 2022 is giving the birth to the idea. Okay, birth was happening, so they had a nice little party there. In 2027, now it's becoming, this is the most dangerous year, because you can give birth to something. Remember, I told you, I understand the stories behind the numbers. You can give the birth to something, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a successful product. It can die, like a real birth with children. But this year is very dangerous. And it feels so calm. It feels ever so calm. But this is where it's becoming spiritual. Prophet Muhammad, Jesus were all number 7. This is where it's becoming spiritual, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a very dangerous year, this year, 2023. Next year is going to be number 8, where it becomes material and it solidifies into this reality. So then it's all, I think it's too late next year. So that we need to now, this is the year now, the number 7. And I keep seeing number 7 everywhere. Property searching, everything is bloody 7 and 14 lately for me. So this is why I'm so happy that I can explain this. Next year is going to be solidifying it in. So if we gave birth, the spiritual consciousness decision is being taken on board this year. Next year, it's becoming material. You pay the bill. And then 2025, number 9, graduation. Number 9 means graduation. Everything is 5 to 9. We are living in a 9 to 5 world where people go to work 9 to 5. 365 days. 3 plus 6 plus 5 is 9. Everything is 5 to 9. Absolutely everything. All the wars, events add up to number 5. 2025, we are graduating with all of this. And that's where this birthday party is coming up. Okay? 999. And it's going to be 2025, October, 9th of October on a beautiful full moon. Let's look at it. Now, one moment. So who is responsible then? Let's do this as well. Before I show the full moon graph, which is not the point. These are little things. So we got the human beings, karma, just a real quick recap for the ones tuning in now. Sleepers who can be considered as a complete wayside product already. It's too late. as soulless human beings masquerading as human beings, contributing to the meat grinder, and the millions upon millions of human servants in the global system and each aspect serving the ancient Draculas who are 800 years or 1500 the cap. Then they need a new host. And these are human hosts that have 3 combination of souls integrated into them, which is the vegetarian reptilian with its strength and loyalty and pureness and this real strength. The human being with the magic and the creativity. That's why they kidnapped Enki. He had to teach the archons on and how to conduct the magic. The human being is a very creative being. It doesn't have the strength and loyalty though, but it has the creativity. And then the archonic overlord 33. So everything is 33, 33, 33. 0.33333333. So these are the responsible factors to what is happening globally. It's all human caused. Everything that's happening. No reptilians, no neo-Satanists, just the cooperations with insectoids and gray soldiers. And I really like how Stuart Swerdlow said that grays were actually breeded from human genetics, which is very interesting because if it is all human karma, then I do talk about, and I disagree with quite a few things with Stuart Swerdlow. He talks about the reptilians, you know, they're not here. You cannot breed a gray alien with a human being because when they started doing that, they really wanted to create this new entity. They were getting spiritually retarded and disabled products, combining the gray alien genetics with the human being. And these were creating really products that died super early, and you can't mix anything with a human being, only an animal. And anything, and reptilian, which is from Mother Earth, anyone from Mother Earth background, the karmic background in genetics, you can mix it with a human being and create a byproduct. But grays, actually, this original thing, they're not from here, so they are more like robotic, and they work for the archons. So they are able to fly in, they don't have the ban, they fly in from hyperspace, they do whatever they gotta do here, serving the cooperating with the local governments, and I talk about some of their projects that they do that involve human beings. I'm not going to get into it. Very, very crazy stuff, which is going to be my next movie about. And insectoids that come here, hover over swamps and collect the gases from the swamps. They like the gases and the minerals from swamp and desert areas. That's why you come, they look like a cloud, insectoid, or, you know. And some entities, races, they can't block. They cannot block these plasma, very high beings. Those are able to bypass, but something with the reptilians, they ban them, they can't get through. But these plasma entities who are very advanced, then they get involved in other ways, communicating with us and ask us to do the bloody job. They can't do it forehand straight themselves, but they do get involved. And Tony Topping talks about the plasma beings, so do check out his work. Insectoids, grays, and these plasma beings are able to come in. And insectoids they're like the bad, like the wild ones in the block. And the government doesn't understand these insectoids because in Estonia near the swamp, we see these insectoid beings. They're small head, very tall, black coat, and small head and big eyes, and they look like a insectoid when you see them in the room. Big coat, big body, small head, very strange. And the government can't tame these beings because they're way too advanced. But they're watching and they're benevolent. I've seen them. I get a really nice feeling with them. Here are the pages 94, 95. We're gonna get into swastika. This is longer. So I talk about the 9 and 5. Those are the pages where I confirm that every single event on the globe, World War I, World War II, 9/11, the sinking of Estonian ship Titanic, Constitution of U.S., independence date, everything adds up to number 5. Even the positive ones where the positive groups are counterfeiting. Everything in Basis Conference 1. Now, so drill that into your head. Everything is number 5 to 9, 2025. A big, I put it here, bloodbath. And I'm sorry to say, but that is coming, okay? Pages 64, 65, I elaborate the DNA, public health, how everything is the nucleotides, 5 corners. DNA is made up of the 6-corner nucleotides, which is the birth, connected to the 5-corner nucleotides, which is 5. So DNA is birth 5, birth 5, birth 5, 5. Everything is correlating, and everything is 5. I want to say something, but I'm not going to say it. It will get... So, these are the events now coming up. Events coming up 2025. There are minor ones. Mars is going to be at the closest proximity. I think it was September 2025. Small birthday, doesn't matter. Let's focus on the real thing. It doesn't matter how many degrees even the Earth tilted. I think it is around 20%. I think it is around 23, 25%, because when I was at Silbury Hill, then the exit was pointed towards north. And when we took the compass out to build the technology there, then it was 20% 2 o'clock. North was 2 o'clock. And the exit of Silbury Hill, not Silbury Hill, West Kennebarrow, opposite of Silbury Hill, was 12 p.m. And then it meant like this tilt has been 20% something, and this will be confirmed. Let's not focus on how many degrees. Let's focus on the following of the magnet. So Ereshkigal birthday is coming up, who was born 18,000 years ago. Mesopotamia. Enki saw this. It's recorded. I have references in the book showing the conversation between them and bringing the ancient text, the Enki's book, Book of Enki's reference. It was first female successful after long years of mixing. Ereshkigal Alatum is her name, and they brought her in with Akkadian Arabic. Okay? And her birthday's coming up. Her birthday is coming up 18,000 years ago, and we're going to break everything down. 9th Ice Age is coming. The last Ice Age was 2.5 million years. 8th Ice Age. So now the 9th Ice Age is coming up, people. And it's going to be a synthetic one, synthetically created. Half of them have been synthetically already created by the Archons because the technology is there. This is a lockdown planet. We are hovering in Ryanair, Coca-Cola, McDonald's crisps, and this is it, you know. Black Sun creation by the Fourth Reich. Black Sun birthday is coming. The Black Sun is coming. And the magnetic polar shift, which has made UK the center of the Earth currently, along with Canada. And that is the whole point of Russia's battle, because they knew that this magnetic polar shift was going to go towards Russia. They know the calendar, obviously. They know the calendar. They know what's up and coming. And that is why they need access to Russia and the same ley lines. The magnetic polar shift runs a steady line, Canada, UK. That's why Abri, the energies, you cannot compare Abri energies to Egypt or Bosnian pyramids. It's all stagnant and dead there. But the energies here are protected. That's why there is no 5G. It's under military protection. Such a random, it could, you know, why here? Because these are the acupunctural points of planet Earth currently. Abri is the center of the Earth, along with spots in Canada. and smaller birthdays coming up, like I just said, that the closest angle of Mars, etc. So Black Sun is coming up, people, October 9th. Black Sun, I discovered, is made up of 12 swastikas. Look at it. It's swastikas combined together. The Schwarze Sonne. I studied some German when I was little. I should have paid more attention at school. Schwarze Sonne is coming up, people. Klaus Schwab. The Black Sun. The Third, Fourth Reich. Are you understanding what the Black Sun is? Do you understand how serious this is? The original sun is going to be completely removed and be gradually replaced with a synthetic sun that they've already built in China. There are videos up. Go check it out yourself. There's a synthetic sun that they built. They think they're gods. Okay, Black Sun is coming up. Now, pages 158, WIC, the book. I talk about 158 page about the sun builders. Who were the sun builders? So some constellations have 5+ suns, different sizes. This constellation only has one sun. And the sun builders, that's what I was trying to say in Basis Project, that in Egyptian times, the visitors, they already buzzed off. Not, it's not the Anunnaki here in charge, okay? We're talking about Mesopotamia time. Ereshkigal, this completely different era, and it's humanoid. The visitors were calling in, trying to help us, and telling that's a graph that I have designed on page 159, where Granula Nebula is a constellation of pure light, and the sun builders are from there. There are hundreds of suns there in unbelievable sizes, and the Egyptians said, please listen guys, there's an intruder here, can you crank up the sun rays, because it's a machine that cleanses planetary systems, exactly like the black hole. That's why the black hole is next to Andromeda Galaxy, built by the Andromeda Galaxy entities, because nothing malevolent can go through the black hole. If you're benevolent, you can go through the black hole and nothing will happen to you. That's on page 163. I explain about the black hole existence. So the black hole has a completely different purpose. And if you are malevolent, which the black hole is going to be another deadline for us in the future, hopefully it's quite far, then if planet Earth goes through the black hole, and if we have raised all our consciousnesses and we are malevolent, we are going to survive the black hole, because you need to be light. Your heart needs to be light as a feather. And it's a protective machine, the black hole. It's a filter. Think of it as a water filter. It doesn't let the garbage go through. The sun builders now in the Egyptian times, they said, listen guys, crank up the rays. So the rays started cranking up, and we see this in scientific evidence. That the sun rays have changed, but they're trying to cover it up with these little lines, remember? That the airplanes are spraying. So I was in Egypt during January, and I thought, okay, wow, the sun city, they call Egypt the sun city, There was no sun there. It was freezing. It felt like Ice Age was coming. And that's what's approaching, a 9th Ice Age. And this is scientific stuff. I am not pulling this out of, please go check the references. NASA, there's been 8 epochs, 9th epoch is coming up, people, okay? And the sun builders are so strange race. They are a very strange race. And they built these suns, and they just buzzed off, bleeped off, and forgot, they have many suns in Milky Way galaxy. And they forgot, and the Egyptians said, you need to crank it up, and there's a parasite, you need to barbecue their ass and get them out. That's why people are kind of going Cocoa Pops, And for a lot of people, this is not their jam. So the point is, Sun rays are affecting, but it's being covered up. And there's nothing we can do about it, because I'm going to explain why Russia has even that still, because the enemy is so great that Putin is worried that if he's going to really start up till 2025, this game, political game that they have going on, he's going to sacrifice the Russian people. That's coming up next. Now, there's a little video here. I don't know if I can play this. Does it have a sound? So this is a TikTok video, Miles, and you guys check out Miss Sepsis. Miss underscore Sepsis, and I have great short videos, political reviews, because, you know, I am from North Europe. I know what's going on with the current situation, etc., the warfare. I talk about the 2025 date coming up. Oh, it's a lockdown planet. No souls are coming in. No souls are going out. This is a lockdown planet. It has been. So all these star seeds and mumbo jumbo that are telling you that they are recent souls that came in, it's not true. It's not true, because these rare souls that kind of push through this band that they've created, the archonic grid system, it was because the immune system of Mother Earth fluctuated, the magnetic polar shift, and then these souls that wanted to really come and help us. For example, these hybrid reptilian entities that work for the positive side were able to calculate the date, time, and push through. It's a lucky, very, very lucky way. And don't believe these people. There's no time for shadow work. Forget about it. Now it's time to fight, I say. And a lockdown planet, nobody is leaving here anytime soon until now the next round when you're incarnating. You know, hopefully you can go back home. But for as long as time, we have all been here, recycled back in. Everything that gets slaughtered, animals, etc., gets recycled back into this meat grinder. And that's the problem that we have now. Jerusalem was the center. Now we're going to get into the technical stuff. Jerusalem was the center, previous center of the center of planet Earth. And so, like I said, Canada, a steady line running across the globe, Canada, UK, and Russian grounds now. And this is due to the magnetic polar shift. And it doesn't matter how many degrees, but this is the situation. And 2025, October 9th, we see that the moon is starting to decrease already. So the ceremony ritual that they're planning to do is going to start at the, it's going to start 8th already. And it always is like that. Even when you look at the Masonic law, allow Masonic hole initiation, it started after midnight into the new dawn, and that became the number 5. And this is going to be graduation 999. This is a moon cycle calendar 2025. You can see it clearly. Just open your eyes and look at it. It's there. 9th, okay? It's already kind of shadowing and decreasing, but it's debatable. It will still have full moon effects last for a long time. Now, so a political side note that I need to say is that small countries next to the enemy are always purchased the same way, like with Kuwait. I was born in Kuwait, so I have a privilege to know about Eastern Europe, Northern Europe, and all these political issues. That's why I check out my channel. Kuwait was purchased to bark at Iraq and go and get the ley lines from Iraq. They needed the ley lines. That's why they got rid of Middle East, because the magnetic polar shift, the ley lines a decade ago were in those territories, but they already saw that these new ley lines are going to be in Russia, and they're trying ever since. You know, with Hillary Clinton and Obama, they tried very best and they couldn't. Trump came in, which makes you wonder that, you know, Trump, not going to get into that. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania all purchased next to the enemy. Same tactic like with Iraq and Saddam Hussein, barking at the enemy next door. You don't know what you don't want to know what's going on there. It's horrific. People are wearing tracksuits with Ukraine printed on their arse. That's how bad it is. So everyone who was united for 2020, anti-2020, 2021 now have been divided by this new fiasco. Now, let's look at the ley lines. Nord magnetic. So the new the magnetic polar shift is going towards Russia. It's going Canada. They got access to Canada, obviously. Thanks, Trudeau. And Abray and UK. Now they need access to Russia. And this is it. This is why they are running out of time. They're running out of time. So, Jerusalem, 23 degree till whatever, and 2 + 3, 5, doesn't matter. Another reason to have this war. They want the Russia's head. And now, let's look at Jerusalem here on the map. Do you see the mouse there? No. Okay, so look at Jerusalem. It is Egypt. Egypt is there, and then Jerusalem is Israel, is at the top of Egypt. I hope you can see that there. That's the global map. And they owned everything. Entire Africa, Middle East, all of the South Pole. So, of course, it was convenient to keep conducting these walk-in ceremonies and rituals. But then they looked at their calendar and they're like, wait a minute. We don't have that upper part of Russia. Put the slide back, Miles. We don't have the upper part of Russia. What are we going to do about that? We own all the bottom parts. United States, North America, South America, the steady ley line and all these portals, all whatever, some say stargates, okay, whatever. But they don't owe Russia, and Russia occupies everything, so this makes everything real. So if you're saying that Putin is part of them, he's there, oh, look at these photos, he's been with Klaus Schwab, World Economic... No, he is not. He is not, because this is a real war, and they need that. They really need that, okay? They really need that territory. Now, look at the slides. Isn't this amazing that Jerusalem, the previous bottom, let's recap, look, the bottom, top of Egypt, Jerusalem was the center of the earth. Now it's UK. Go a little bit up, do a steady straight line left to right. I hope I'm making sense here. So the steady line before with Israel, Jerusalem was Mexico, about Mexico, northern bottom United States, running left to right across all the way. You can see Lebanon, you can see Iran, you can see China, and they got that. They had access to that, okay? Hunter Biden had access to China. Thanks. He had access to that. And when we look at Jerusalem now, it's divided into 5 sections. Everything is the pentagram. Everything is 5. Everything is 5. Christian quarter, American quarter, Muslim quarter, Jewish quarter, and the Solomon Thorono section there. And that is now that holy area. And I'm going to say one more thing, that the Palestinians are actually travelers. So this is all, again, a new problem there. And the Shia and Sunni thing going on in Iran, Persians don't exist anymore. They don't exist. It's all been taken over by mullahs. So Palestinians are in travelers, and this is a synthetic conflict there. Jerusalem, like the Irish travelers here. So Jerusalem is divided into 5 sections. It was the center of the earth. Here's the article. Earth's magnetic North Pole has officially moved towards Russia. This is a 2019 article, and it's all over. There's so many articles like this. I just pulled up one. I just pulled up one, which is confirmation. And the way the magnetic polar shift moves is when you look at the red lines, you look at the red lines on that globe, and it moves around, and then it kind of, it's very interesting, you know. I'm not an expert, but you need to train and keep looking at it, and then it will follow towards the targeted areas. Now we got that, so that confirms why they need the war with Russia, because they don't occupy these ley lines there, the straight line. And it's all gonna go really not good at all, okay? So let's recap. What's coming up? Let's recap. Let's do this. I'm going to jump straight forward. Don't worry, Miles. Just recapping what birthdays are coming up. Ereshkigal birthday party, 18,000 years ago. Let's recap. Her birthday party, the main thing. She is the goddess of the ruler of everything. And she's actually not that all negative, because she is the goddess of justice. So that's why we're talking about karma. If you don't pull your act together, this goddess protected all animals and Mother Earth. She worships this planet and the beings. She just can't stand the parasites that are feeding off her, and she wants to get rid of us. Ereshkigal birthday party, the 9th ice age, i.e. black sun. Sun is going to be covered up. Synthetic sun is going to be introduced gradually. Free will is going to be taken away thanks to all these birthdays coming up in her honor. And this is connected to karma, karma, karma. Black sun, third thing, and the magnetic polar shift in the Russian war connection. So we got 4 massive birthdays. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. So let's look at this now. Everything is numerology, and we're going to break down the swastika meaning now, and we're going to talk about time travel, okay? So numerology, this is Chaldean numerology. There's different types. The difference is that some extra letters have been added, but normally I go by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and the main letters, okay, in English. So this is the swastika, and it's a Sanskrit, and I have posted on social media so many times saying that Sanskrit are not storylines, words, letters. They are numbers that hold entire meanings and storylines, numbers. And swastika is from Hinduism, ancient Hinduism, Tibet. That's why Hitler was a mystic and they had to get rid of him, because he was a really good guy. But they got rid of him. They got rid of him. And I'll tell you why. There's 2 types of swastika. This is probably where half of the crowd is leaving. Goodbye. Take care. The first one left was Satan. Now they're going to leave with Hitler. Okay, so the left-facing swastika, see, is very good, is Bon. And the right one, it has different directions, and that is the kind of like the Sri Lankan one, they're saying. So the right hand side one is the one that they're using in the Third, Fourth Reich, the other pointy, but in my humble opinion, they are the same. So let's look at it. This is how I start calculating. And I calculate the total value of swastika numbers. We're talking about numbers and time travel now here, people. And I have an entire chapter on WALKINCASE with number 5, number 9 calculations, pages up on pages up on pages. I'm not going to show that now. So I took my calculator out and I started calculating. So the first bar in the black holy Mecca cube represents number 1. Even Anyone, this is easy. Please, like I said, drill through that calcium dairy layer in your brain, access the pituitary gland, and let's have some fun with this. Now let's look at the slide. Number 1, and we're going to calculate 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, let's get my maybe I did a mistake. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. I you know, maybe I was tired. Maybe I did a mistake. So let's see. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. We're starting from the left corner. Plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 27. And the same thing happens with the other corner. And what is 27? It's number 9, graduation. Klaus Schwab wants to graduate. 999, 2025, 9th of October. Am I making sense here, Miles? Because I feel like I'm speaking another, like, is this getting through to people? Number 9, swastika is 999. Both corners, it gets more. There's more calculations to this figure. It's the holy cube. Now, when you add up the other corners, I'm going to go back to this. Let's read this first. When you add up all the 4 corners, 1 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1 is 12. 12 represents time, and it represents time travel. So I'm going to show you what I mean in a minute in the next sketch. So it is the full circle representing time travel that can be turned around. Black sun has 12 swastikas. Remember? I show that to you. The black sun has 12 swastikas. And black sun is, in that case, a unbreakable 99999 time travel machine that you can go backwards and forwards, okay? Because time travel is the whole point of this problem that we're facing. They're speeding up time, they're slowing down time. Time feels slower. Some days feel like a month. Some days feel like a split a second because they're deleting their karma events from the past, and then it messes up with the VCR tape. And then the Akashic record needs to adjust it and adjust energies. And that's why people jump off a cliff, because the energies are all over the place. Mental health, slaughterhouse, every corner, old trees chopped down like in Denmark. Sorry, I had to bring that in. I'm so pissed off at these farmer protests. 17, 18 million cattle, 17 million people as well. Equivalent. Give me strength, honestly. And old trees chopped down and 5G in a slaughterhouse every corner. Come on, you can't support this kind of regime. Now, back to swastika. Each corner is like a pyramid, 90 degrees, graduation 999, diagonal figures correlating with the 90 degrees. When you add up the diagonal corners, look, 1 plus 5, it's 6. So it's a birth feeding the 90-degree graduation, exactly like in the unicursal hexagram in Washington. The 33 degrees add up to 6, and they're feeding the 9 full corners of 9. So a lot of the main essence numbers are 5 leading to 9, and 6, the rebirth system. 666 is rebirth, giving rebirth to the grid system. It means birth. 6 means birth, 5 means change, 9 means graduation. So corners add up to 6, feeding the 90 degrees, and Klaus Schwab is standing. They represent this. And now we're going to look. There is pages 94, 95. I teach how to conduct rituals. You are the O. O is number 5. You are the number 5. Human being is the round circle O. And you are inside this circle. That's why you see in many broadcasts they have the pyramid and a circle inside. They don't tell you what that means, but that's what it means. You are the O in the pyramid tetrahedron, or whatever, 3 corners. Now, this is the swastika. Do you see it in the middle? The same numbers, 27999. And now when you start shifting this middle red swastika, I should have made it color yellow actually. When you start shifting it left side, it starts to create a circle with the out corners. If you put that swastika on a sand or snow, you will see that it will start making a perfect circle. And every single corner that it reaches, it will guarantee time travel 999. Go back to the graph. Look, I have all these nines around it. 9. Every second that it will reach will guarantee Klaus Schwab, Harari, and all the rest of the bloody gobshites, the number 9, to have this big birthday party coming up 2025. Because this is a magic-based meat grinder world. So swastika is a time travel symbol and machine. You go back in time, you go forward in time, and you will always be guaranteed to reach the 27-9. 999. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mecha cube as well. 90-degree corners. And which I remember the other, after Jerusalem, when you look at the map of the planetary system, what was the next center of the Earth? Vatican. Because when you moved up, have to go back on the map. I have to go back on the map. Let me have a look at this global map. Yeah, the shoe, the boot, Italian boot, Vatican was the next one. There you go. Wow. I don't know, people. I am worried. This is going to get now even more serious. I'm already giving up hope here. Okay, so swastika. Each and every second, put the slide, Miles, please. Each and every second that they stop at during time travel and deleting their karma in the past to buy some time and rectify, because universal law doesn't allow negativity. That's how they're trying to escape the karma. And that's why they integrate it with specific soul signatures to protect more from this Satan catching them and sending them straight to hell. We're going back to Satan now, okay? There's too many bloody nuances. I can't. I have smoke coming out of my bloody ears. So let's go back to the slide. When you turn the swastika around, it formulates a perfect circle like a clock. It can be moved backwards and forwards for time travel. Initially with Hitler, it was upright as normal, but when the negative Nazis took over the positive Nazis, and it doesn't actually matter, it's just their kind of little mark, like, ha, you know what? I don't like it this way. I'm going to bloody tilt this thing. Literally like a kid on a tantrum. It doesn't change the fact that it's 999. We're talking about the numbers. They just added their little signature dish to it, a little spice. Positive Nazis who wanted free energy and freedom to all men and women on planet Earth. And Hitler made this very clear when he was still at a right mind, before he was medically poisoned by a doctor. Not by a doctor. The doctor wrote notes. Andres. He's from Estonia, the doctor. That was Hitler's doctor. And I speak about it in Walking Case. It's all documented. Listen. This is no Billy Carson mumbo jumbo fiasco here. We are trying to present something that makes motherfucking sense, okay? Excuse my Irish. I made mistakes in the first lecture where I said that the war started before the Olympics, 1936. But I wanted to say the Japanese Olympics in 1940, because the war obviously started in 1939, September 1st, where they attacked Poland. I wanted to say that was the point. I made mistakes. Standing on your feet, you get exhausted. Now, the point is that Hitler wanted free energy to everyone, and he made that pretty clear in all this anti-Semitic mumbo-jumbo that they were accusing him of. He was already replaced with doubles and half senile, on the edge of wearing diapers soon. His condition was very, very bad according to the documents. You know, they just pumped him up, threw him in the basement, locked the door. Now, then it was tilted. Hitler was heavily medicated. I said that swastika is same as black cube Mecca, which represents the 999. And that is all Vatican Arcanic influence. Good. Now let's look at this guy, Klaus Schwab swastika, and 2025 end of times of free will coming up. Now let's look at the astrological nuances that are coming up. And I honestly, this confirms that this Eresh Gigal birthday is coming up, okay? And then I could have put more astrological examples of the other years, but I tried my best. So let's do this step by step, you and me, you and the viewer. Can you please put the slide? So this is an astrological, where you calculate, I don't know if some of you know, the rising and the moon, and then, you know, that's for a love compatibility or whatever personality reports. But this is the yearly. So Sagittarius and Capricorn, it's all out there. Let's look at it one more time. And you can see the planetary systems, and this is divided. It's a round circle, you see? And it has 12 zodiac signs, obviously, and split into half. But I'm going to get into this now. So there is 6 planets on the left hemisphere, and top hemisphere there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 15 total, 6. Now let's do the step by step. Let's look at now the astrological chart of 20 to 2025. It doesn't show the lines, scribbly little lines on this sketch. But let's look at the 2025. This is one of the sketches that I found. Now let's do this. This makes sense. This is not that hard. Anyone can understand this. When you look up, you see the Aries sign. See, Miles Johnson is an Aries, cusp to Taurus. So he's similar to Hitler. Hitler was as well Aries and Taurus. Cause I know everyone's, by the way, rising and stuff like that. And numerology, I'm just fanatical like that. But when you look at that chart, can you put the chart back? You see that is at the right after the Aries. It's right after the Aries. And now this chart is going to come back to, we're going to show this. I'm going to show this. What is happening here? It's splitting the left and right hemisphere of the both zodiac signs, and it's leaking through, and it's creating the holy 14, the 7 holy girls, 7 holy boys that I talk about, the Mintaura sacrifice, the bull sacrifice, which is 5. So 7 zodiac planetary aspects, not planetary, zodiac aspects on left, right hemisphere, leaking through, and that is it. So I'm going to show you, this is going to get clear now. This is going to make sense now. Just give me a minute, okay? And walk with me. This is a very big event because this chart is going to look exactly like the Jesus Christ chart when the beginning of time calendar started. So this is 2025. This is 2025, people, and this matches Jesus's beginning of calendar time. Let's look at 1945 when the World War II started. Let me see these notes. Before I move on to the World War II and World War I planetary chart, I wanted to show you the Jesus birthday chart, which I just mentioned. And 10,000 years divided by 2. Okay, let's look at this. Wait. This is the Jesus chart now. It's exactly the same. Almost the same. Let's say that, okay, let's say Jesus was at a certain age, but this is basically what is coming up 2025, that tetrahedron, because it's right after Aries that I just said. Aries is there. See, right at the middle on the left-hand side with the 2 horns, the ram, and the next one is Pisces. Pisces is next door. So 2025 and Jesus's astrological chart match, and they are 2,000 years apart. Now, let's say 2,000 years apart, and every 2,000 years this happens. So Eresh Gigal, this woman whose birthday is coming up 18,000 years ago, and they worship everywhere. 10,000 years divided by 2,000 years is 5 cycles. 5 cycles, remember? 5. I need to really confirm what happened then. That was that 8,000 years ago. We need to really look into that. What happened then? But 18,000 divided by 2. Am I going crazy here, people? It's 9. She's waiting for her number 9 graduation. This puta madre. Ereshkigal is becoming number 9 2025. She was born 18,000 years ago. So if this astrological chart with a 2025 is this split into 7 zodiac aspects, left and right hand side adds up to whatever, that doesn't even matter. And the Jesus chart matches. This is now reversed, but I turned it around for you so you can see it clearly. So every 2,000 year cycles is a quarter. It's 1 quarter. And this is it. She's becoming number 9. This woman is becoming number 9. She's coming back, the ruler of underworld. And the karma, justice. She's justice as well. And she's so, the way she's been described, she was very evil. And after, initially she was acting demonic, but once she had the walk-in thing in her, she actually, they said she acted more normal. With a walk-in, this spiritual 33, 33, 33, 3 souls combined together in a cocktail, injected into her body, this woman started to act more normal, that she was already dark from the beginning. Can you believe this? Her birthday is coming up 2025. These astrological charts match, and I confirm these. And this happens every 2,000 years. So you can see she has these 2 split half circles in her hands. And what is happening here, there's like a measuring tape under these circles, and I believe that they were not only copper. One of them was definitely a different material, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was zinc, like Valery Uvarov's cylinders that I'm holding right now. So if she was holding these 2 half circle ones, what happens when you put the 2 circle half one? What happens when you put 2 half circles together? What happens then? It becomes a circle, doesn't it? And it matches that tetrahedron, her birthday. Okay. Big birthday coming up, people. And we're seeing that with the legislations, everything. 2025, free will is going to, they are going to give us now this resources, internet, everything, free flow to communicate with each other, make up our minds. We had to make up our minds. We had to make up our minds. And she had these 3 souls now injected in her. And Enki was telling his colleague in the conversation, they were overwatching what they were doing to Ereshkigal Lalatum. This is all recorded stuff. I don't have the slide to show you this article, but Enki taught the Archons how to use creativity to conduct voodoo magic and whatever. And then he saw this ritual, and then he was like, oh my God, what have I done now? I've educated the enemy. So these charts now, let's look at World War I chart here. It goes, so there's the Aries, you see on 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock is Aries. You see that little red with the horns. And this is fun, you know, you're learning, you're developing new neurological circuits, you're learning something new other than your silly little, you know, this is good. I think it's good. So Pisces is 3 o'clock and now 12 p.m. And what is that? Is that the Taurus is before Aries and Gemini, the two polar two characters. So it was in Gemini, the North Node. North Node was then World War One. This is like extra stuff. World War Two, it was just at the start of Aries. You see the Aries, the round face there, and he has his horn. No. The red one is Aries. It was at the start of the bull. It was at the start of the bull, World War II, and it was the Minthara sacrifice. World War II was much more brutal than World War I because the leakages due to Winston Churchill, Switzerland, AI portals where these soulless humans came in to do the dirty job. They couldn't hire so short after World War I to convince people, hey, you know what, I got a bright idea, let's go to World War II. It's just been like 15, 20-year break. They needed soulless entities to come from these leakages to take over the human bodies. That's why we have psychotic kids. We have psychotic adults. So the leakages and the flooding, it's heaving in West Africa and Nigerian AI portals, heaving in Canadian portals, AI portals, where these soulless shadow-like entities took over the human bodies. These are not walk-ins. These are soulless humans. The original soul gets kicked out and something else walks in. There is no shamanic retrieval to bring these people back. Once a soulless human being, if you're married to one, please run. These are very strange people. They hold a conversation and they're friendly. Some are extrovert, some are introvert, but you feel something so dark around them. If they're a neighbor throwing dead animals at your doorstep and they're mindless. These are mindless. They skin a being alive, and they don't even, when you do counseling, they don't understand what they've done, because there is no empathy and there is no reasoning. Their autonomic nervous system and the central nervous system switches off the PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and it doesn't develop anymore. Their brains will change the formula once the shadow spirit walks into them. The brain scans show that their autonomic nervous system is disconnected, operates very differently. They don't develop emotions when they're chopping an innocent animal into pieces. They don't understand what they're doing. They have no souls. They're not psychopaths, they're not sociopathic, they don't have narcissistic personality disorder like in the clinical world where they talk about. They have nothing. They needed these souls to take over during World War II to be the useful idiot, to contribute to the meat grinder and this horror story that's going on, okay? They couldn't convince anymore the normal human being, like, hey, you know what, let's go to... They're like, no, I really don't want to. Can I take a break? And this is it. Winston Churchill, you can see Stalin in the image. They're all sitting together, World War II, creating CERN-type AI portals in Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines. They're heaving. China, Shanghai, Wuhan portals, distributed soulless humans across Indonesia. They leaked from Shanghai, Wuhan. And all hell has broken loose. They're in Nigeria, at the coast, in Canada, Argentina. The Nazis created there when they escaped the World War II. They escaped to Argentina. The AI portals in South America are in Argentina. And then I would say that in Eastern Europe, they are in Poland, because in Poland it's heaving with soulless. It's such a big nation as well. They're mindless. Like, it's a horror story. So I had to clarify that. Do you understand? This is, take a break. If you can't handle it, just take a break. This is it. This is the point. This is probably more important lecture than I did ever before. You have to be patient with me. It's not easy to explain this. So Putin's role, he was made aware during this Kremlin UFO that was all over the place in media. Let's show that first, and then we go back to the slide. So this is the 1 mile tetrahedron UFO that was reported in the Mirror. It was reported in the New York Post and the Telegraph. RT News, and more everywhere. That's the Telegraph image. And it was there all day. It's a mile-long UFO tetrahedron, and it's, according to Valerio Varov, when we did the 2017 Bases lecture, he said that that was the same UFO that was meeting Gilgamesh, the leader, to tell him, listen, there's something approaching, which could be where Ereshkigal turned 5 cycles 8,000 years ago, because she's going to be 9. She's going to be 9 now. So he met these beings on that ship, met Gilgamesh, the king, leader, whatever, and they said there's something approaching, and this time they decided to meet Putin. They said, listen, there's a, I don't know if you're aware, pal, but there's something like not so nice here. Yeah, I know that. I already know that. And Putin was a very unpleasant kind of, like, he even looked different. So I think that whatever they did, they put him on an extended life program. He looks fit as fuck. Shout out to Putin, the savior of the world, okay? That was, I don't know. Are you allowed to say that? Hopefully it's not going to catch it. But, so he could not leave his post. And one Russian told me in Estonia, the Russians in Eastern Europe are a little bit mixed. So they're not the original Moscow Russian, who's very nice, actually, quality people. He told me that every time when a child or an animal meets Putin, they go like this. He said to me, he was like this. Putin is the man. His people love him. They know about the enemy. They know about the enemy, but he needs to be careful because he doesn't want to sacrifice his people. And he knows about this ley line running through his country. There are chemtrails in Russia. There is a lot of things that he cannot fight against because the battle for free will choices up till 2025, he needs to let his people make the choice as well. Not all Russians are beautiful because, like I said, there's only 25% real human beings. So he has his internal problems in his country as well, where he has sleepers and soulless humans, frankly. And the point is that he cannot talk about certain things because they will then absolutely, there wouldn't be a reason anymore in Ukraine. They're not even, they're not in Kiev, okay? You need to understand that. They are at the eastern border, but not even there anymore. And he needs to be very careful in this very subliminal mind fuck game, whatever you want to call it, that they talk in the news, blah, blah, blah. I love this fuck, I love this shit. I love this blah, blah, blah. It's a very delicate game that is going on, and he cannot say, hey, look, there's an enemy that's a Dracula. He's, hibernating somewhere in Scotland. He cannot say that because he needs to give us the space till 2025. And then things hopefully will change for the better. I'd like to thank each and every one of you to listen to the end. Thank you so much, honestly. Thank you. I'm glad I had the energy. I'd like to give thanks to whoever gave me the energy to explain this to you. It's better for me to talk faster and chirpier like that with that kind of energy than slow, because there's too much information. And sometimes throwing in something, it can be like, what is she doing now? This is like, she threw the whole topic off rail. But then I conclude it back. I go back to the previous slide and then we make sense of it. And, this is one of those lectures that you're not going to listen to one time. You're going to listen to this lecture 2, 3, 4 times. This is it. That's one of those lectures. So you have to sit with this, meditate, and every single thing I said, I meant it. And I'm not taking it back.
You had one little problem in that you referred to Bases 1. You mean the Bases 2022 presentation in 2022. There were a couple of versions of that, I think.
2022. And let's give an applause to Miles that he didn't interrupt me a single time. This miracles. I'm telling you, miracles against the odds.
Sandra, are you saying I could have interrupted? Because I could have.
This was the first time that he has never, ever. This is incredible. This is great. This is great. This is meant to be, and I really have put in energy and effort in this. I really, honestly, please, let's the 25% pull ourselves together. We don't need the majority on board. We need a proportion of the real non-corrupt recycled souls to get on board on this final call and contribute. Then watch the Odyssey channel. I show the everyone's doing this level of magic, even Jay-Z that's being exposed now. So we are dealing with total magic, 5 times everything, okay? Hint, hint. And thank you so much. Please contact me. Please contribute. Please do something. Do something. And stop worrying about your shadow work and the other stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to fight till my very last breath. And I'm not going to give up. Then at least I can rest in peace and I can say I try my very best. And that's the characteristic of a Capricorn rising, the devil, which I am. The Capricorn rising, the devil is a joke. And Moon Pisces I am. That gives me that little alkaline, and I'm a Sun Leo for your information. So thank you very much. Thank you, Miles, and speak to you soon.
Well, thank you very much, Sandra Daroy. It's been a blast, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.